Hello and welcome once again to the video. I'm recording this one a little bit later than normal. What's the time at the moment? It's now 1:45 in the morning, 1:45 a.m. I announced on my channel that this one would be recorded a little bit late because I had to get back from work first and then had to watch the qualifying for the Grand Prix, having already sneakily watched the sprint race at work. So that saved me a little bit of time. So this is, of course, my little predictions video, just a little short video. It has to be very short because I don't have the energy right now to do a long video, but I wouldn't do anyway. I'm torn though as to who to make my prediction on the win. I am very torn. Final decision. It's very tricky, I have to say. Very impressed with Antonelli. Extremely impressed. I thought Russell would be all over him at the Miami Grand Prix. Russell does admit that this is not one of his favoured circuits. He says he doesn't like low grip circuits where there's a lot of sliding around. But are we to assume from that Antonelli specifically does like this sort of circuit? I don't know what Antonelli prefers. It may well be that Antonelli doesn't like this sort of circuit as well. But yeah, Russell has pretty much written himself off already. We have Antonelli in pole position. Verstappen is second, isn't he? I think Leclerc is third. I think Norris was fourth. Russell was fifth, something like that. Hamilton, was he sixth or was he seventh? I think he was seventh. I think Hamilton was seventh. Not good. Hamilton continuing to be, as he always is, just 2 or 3 tenths behind Leclerc, even when Hamilton has a good run and manages to get ahead of Leclerc at some point. You always know that he's going to end up, at the end of the session, still going to end up 1.5 tenths to 3 tenths slower than Leclerc every single session of every single race weekend. You know, and everyone's sort of thinking, oh, well, you know, why is this? Why is Hamilton a bit slower? Everyone's ignoring the elephant in the room. And the elephant in the room is Lewis's age, of course. He's about 12 years older than Leclerc. Of course, everyone looks at Alonso and sees what he's doing at the moment, but Alonso is an outlier. The fact that Alonso looks like he can race competitively into his 90s doesn't mean everybody else can do that. He's the odd one out there, Alonso. So it is depressing seeing Hamilton consistently 2 or 3 tenths behind Leclerc all the time. And as for Antonelli, fantastic. I mean, 3 pole positions. Apparently, the only other drivers, 2 other drivers, Ayrton Senna and Michael Schumacher, are the only 2 drivers to score their first 3 pole positions consecutively. Very impressive. And it just goes to show that last year he just didn't have confidence. Antonelli, last year he was getting tearful at times during interviews. And I think it's literally all about confidence. He had the talent last year, clearly, Antonelli. But he just wasn't getting the results in the middle part of the season. He had a good start to the season and he had a better end. But in the middle, for most of the season, he just wasn't able to string any decent results together. Now, he's had 2 wins already this year. He's on fire. He was really good in Australia as well. So, well, I think he was second in Australia, wasn't he? So, he's very, very good. He's got his confidence is sky high at the moment, and that's all you need. It's just confidence to improve. It's not that he's better this year. He's just more confident. Norris won the sprint race, a bit of a flat, ordinary sprint race. I know that they've tweaked the rules in different. I don't pay much attention to the battery rules, battery chat. Because I find that's a bit tedious. But they have tweaked the rules in numerous different ways. And going by the sprint race, they seem to have taken away a lot of the backwards and forwards overtaking. But we'll see what happens in the race. But that was a pretty flat, uninteresting sprint race, has to be said. The other thing that has to be mentioned is, of course, the passing of Alessandro is his full name, isn't it? Alessandro Zanardi. That's what I remember his name being. Yeah, what a strange career he had. In Formula One, he struggled massively in his first stint in Formula One and in his latter stint. But all the other things he did, great success in IndyCar, or Champ Car, as that version of IndyCar was called back then. And also in touring cars as well, after he'd lost his legs. And then as a Paralympian, winning gold medals. Amazing stuff. Anyway, I'll have to do a separate video on Zanardi, won't I? But let's just do the predictions here. So, I think in first place, who do I think is going to be first? Who do I think is going to be first? It's so difficult. I'm torn between Antonelli and Verstappen. I think I'm going to go Verstappen, Now, if George Russell had been, say, second or third on the grid, I might have put him down for a win. But then again, he's been writing himself off, as I said, all throughout the weekend. So I still probably wouldn't. But second, will be Antonelli. I think Verstappen will be just too strong for Antonelli. Even if Antonelli is faster, Verstappen will get him at the start, because Antonelli, as he admits himself, is struggling with his starts. And I don't think Antonelli will be able to get him back. I think it will be Leclerc again. In third place. It's not going to be Hamilton, because Hamilton's going to be slightly slower every single lap than Leclerc. So it won't be Hamilton. I think Russell and Hamilton will be sort of fourth and fifth. Fourth Russell, fifth Hamilton. But where would the McLarens be then? It's really topsy-turvy, because McLaren were very good in the sprint race, sprint quali, and the sprint race, first and second in the race, and then it comes to qualifying, and suddenly they seem to be struggling again. That's just very strange. The commentators were putting it down to a change in direction of the wind. I don't know how that... I can't work that one out, I have to say. But it's just very strange how how backwards and forwards it is, and therefore very difficult to predict. Where would Norris be? Well, he would be in the battle for fourth, along with Russell, and maybe Hamilton would be sixth, unfortunately, with Russell fifth and Norris fourth, something like that. I don't have a standout prediction for anything else, I don't think. Maybe, I'll tell you what, maybe my standout prediction, watch out for Colapinto, because he's had a fantastic weekend so far. I mean, he did finish behind Gasly in the sprint race, but he qualified ahead of Gasly. And I think where did he qualify in this Grand Prix? But for much of the qualification, he was ahead of Gasly. He got into Q3 for the first time. So I can't remember if he finished ahead of Gasly or not in the qualifying. But anyway, he's had a very good weekend. I think that's going to continue because his confidence will be growing by every passing minute this weekend. So there you go. We'll see if that prediction ends up being correct. At the moment, my predictions are I've scored 5 out of 9 so far. So let's just put here 5. I don't count the sprint race, but I've so far correctly predicted 5 positions out of 9 in the 3 races so far, which is not bad. Let's see if that can continue. Okay, there we go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm about to fall asleep, I think, but I've got to upload this video first and do everything that entails before I can fall asleep. And we will see the race tomorrow, and I will release a video hopefully on Monday, but it is Bank Holiday Monday here in the UK, so that means that the whole family are off. So it might be tricky for me to record the video on Monday, but I will do my best to do it. If not, it'll be Tuesday, definitely. Okay, thank you, and thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe if you don't already, and I will see you on that next video, which should be the Grand